Really known as Summer Schlopey, that's how the community knows me, but back in the day I used to swim and slime some kids on Nickelodeon and talk about the NBA with basketball players. So, but that was me when I was real little.
And I'll turn it over to you, but Summer is also was getting a member.
I am, and my daughter Sky is also, which I think is so beautiful about this organization and this plan and why I'm so excited to be a part of it. I brought some hardware. So just honestly, I trust all of you. Maybe not a couple of you. But I do, I trust all of you. And if you guys in the back, there's places up here, and if you want to come in, come on in and join the party. But you're welcome to just feel them. People, ever since I won them, and I'll say this just really fast. My first medal was my bronze medal. And the first question I was asked when I got out of the pool after the 400 IM was, "You must be so disappointed." Right? Well, it's like, you know, it's the way it is. If you're swimming 5 events, you gotta win 5 gold medals. But it was my first event, and I broke my Heroes American record, and I won a bronze medal, and I was feeling it, and it was really heavy. And I remember I went back to the Athletes Village, and the beautiful part about this and what the Olympics really stand for is that my teammates did not care what color it was. They came into my room and they just wanted to feel it. They wanted to feel the weight of what they were training for. They didn't look at the color. It was bronze. Jeff Rouse touched it, and later he won a gold medal. They just wanted to feel the weight of it. And people always say, the first thing they say is, "Oh my gosh, they're so heavy." And my response is always, "Shouldn't they be?" They're not real, so don't worry about it. And they've all broken, and they have dings in it and everything, so they're imperfect, but enjoy while I'm talking. So I was first of all, thank you, Jody, for asking me to do this. And Janice, my friend who's eating a Burger King right now in Idaho, she probably is mortified that I just told you that. They asked me to do this, and everyone assumes I give so many speeches, and I really don't. I generally, if somebody asks me to give a speech, I have to be connected to it in some way, shape, or form. So, when this was all being put together, and Jody sends out the agenda, and then Martha says, "Well, I have my PowerPoint. I'd like to go through it with AV beforehand." I was like, "Oh, PowerPoint. I wonder if I could put a PowerPoint together." The last time I did a PowerPoint was for Celebrity Apprentice, Bret Michaels' finale. So I was like, I can do this. So I did this right before I came. And I started with when it started for me at age 4, because I think what this foundation is all about is community. I would not have achieved my goals. I never would have achieved my goals. My dreams would not have come true if I didn't come from a really awesome community that supported me. So it all started at age 4 in a small town, used to be a small town, like all of them, Roseville, California. And I started because my older brother was joining the swim team. And of course, if anybody has an older brother out there, then you're probably like me. He was the hero of all heroes. He could do no wrong, and I wanted to be right where he was. So I joined the team at 4, even though the coaches said, "We'd really love for her to be 6. But then they quickly said, "Well, if she can swim a lap of the pool, then all right, she can be on the team." So I did, and there I am at 4. That's the way I looked after my very first race, and that's what I became addicted to, was that fear of going for it, and then doing it, and then touching the wall and going, "Oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. Yes!" So I was walking tall, my big belly was hanging out, and I was like, yes! I just did my first race. I got 3rd, and anyway, I was hooked. Let's hope I get this right. Okay, but it wasn't always sweet, and this is where the community really comes in as well. In every athlete, especially the ones that you get to hear from, the ones that reach the top, right? There are the highs and the lows. I quit 3 times. And the reasons were, I wanted to see what the kids were doing after school. Like, I just went straight to swim practice, but I had this feeling the kids were doing really cool things after school. And it took me about a month to realize they just went to the thrifty drugstore to get 15-cent ice cream cones. So that's what I did for like a month, and then I'm like, wow, time really goes by fast, and I would have been done with swim practice already, so I'm gonna go back to swim. And I then quit to be a cheerleader. And I was gonna put that picture on there, but it just would give too much ammo to my friends to tease me later. There was nothing about me that said grace, and bless my parents' heart because they would just encourage me to do whatever I wanted to, but I was not good, not good. So I went back to swimming, and then I quit because if you've been 14 or have ever had a 14-year-old girl, you know what I'm talking about. It's because I was a total jerk and I was 14. So along the way, something clicked and I figured it out, and I think that was the last slide. But anyway, it was when I was 15 and I went to the Olympic trials, and I went there with just free spirit, just wanting to have fun. The joy that you guys see in all your kids that play sports and compete in sports. And I accidentally qualified for finals, and I almost made the Olympic team. And I wish I could show you that video because it would kind of break your heart. I was ahead with 30 meters left and had no clue how fast I was going, just was cruising along until I did glance at the other legs and realized I was ahead by a body length with 30 meters to go. And I was 15 years old, and I touched the wall. I give it everything I have. I'm like that cartoon character, just spinning. Do you know what I'm saying? Not moving and spinning. And I touched the wall, and I got third by 27/100ths of a second. But that's when it clicked for me, and that's when I realized I had this dream of being an Olympian, and I always wanted to do it, but I think it actually could be a goal. So for the next 4 years, and in between that, I went to Stanford University, and with the help of, again, amazing support, not only from Roseville, California, but my college at Stanford, and my coaches, and my parents, and my teammates. I qualified for the Olympic Games in 1992 in 5 events. 1 relay, both individual medleys, and both butterflies. And it wasn't until the very last day that I finally did what I set out to do, which was win my individual gold medal. And it wasn't an easy road. Like I said before, bronze. Then I swam a relay in the morning and won a gold medal. And then I got 6th place in the 100 butterfly, which was a real disappointment for Team USA. And then I swam my heart out, and I was so excited. Whoever's got my silver medal, I'm so proud of that one. I fought so hard to the very end. And Lynn Lee touched me out by just a little bit, and she broke the world record. And I'll never forget her coach coming up to me and saying, "Thank you so much for pushing Lynn Lee to break the world record." I was like, that's what I was out for. And then my last day, with no energy left, nothing left in the tank emotionally or physically, I stand on the blocks for the finals of the 200 butterfly, and it comes to that one moment. And I continue to bring this speech back to community and support, because it was that at that moment, the biggest stage of my life, when, you can just leave that up, that's perfect. It was at that moment, the biggest stage of my life, when I went back to the basics. I went back to the core of the strength of who I am. And it was all the people along the way. It was all my coaches from day one. It was every teammate I ever had, even the very first ones when I was 4 years old. And I looked up at the banner and I saw Barcelona 1992, and it sunk in that this was my last chance to do it. And I said, you've got to leave everything in this pool for yourself and for everyone who's given anything to you for this dream. I swam my race. It was nothing like I normally swim. Gave my parents a total heart attack. And I touched that wall and I screamed and I put my fist in the air, and if I could have been transported right up here to this moment, I would have done it in a second. The gold medals are amazing and they mean so much to me, but somebody had the wherewithal to snap this picture of everyone I love who was there at the games and their reaction when I touched the wall. And by far, this is the greatest treasure I have in my life. Being a part of the Women's Giving Foundation is such an opportunity to impact people's lives, kids' lives, families' lives. I have been extremely impacted in such a positive way by so many people. That is something that I try to share with my family, and the reason why I signed my daughter up for the Women's Giving Fund, and why being a part of a community, not just living in a community, but being a part of this wonderful community is so very important. Sorry, I cried. That's why I don't give speeches, girls. Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure, and I just have to recognize, thank you for coming out. I know how busy everyone is. It's just not an easy time to take 2 hours out of your day, but this is a pretty fun girls' night. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.